All right. Hey, how you doing? This is Erick from AHA, Americans Helping Americans and AMP Live. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're outside rocking and rolling in your area, hunting deals, looking for deals. Today we're going to go live. Today is Thursday, Deal Day, for the AMP Live Real Estate Show. I'm going to be your host today, Erick of AHA, Americans Helping Americans and AMP Live. Got a couple of PSA announcements for you as well. We have a special guest, the young man rocking and rolling in the Midwest and obviously doing deals wherever you'd like to. But we're going to be talking about affordable housing. We're going to talk about subject to existing financing. We're going to talk about some wholesaling. Creative real estate investing is the game. The jam is what we're going to share today. And then later on this evening, going to be out in the field, so we'll probably we'll chat a little bit more there. So just want to interact if you like what's happening here and you understand what's going on in regards to creative real estate investing. And this is entertaining for you. Please share, love, and like. We appreciate that. So we're going to have some good conversations today. So I'm fired up. I'm feeling good. I'm obviously in a good mood. So positive mental attitude all day long. And then just wanted to share this with you. So if you're stuck or if you're spinning your wheels and you got the shiny object syndrome, you're not sure where to start. Is it YouTube? Is it Twitter? Is it TikTok or X or even Facebook? Or thinking about jumping into a program, or you were in a program, you got into a program and it's just not working for you, then let's talk, right? That's what we're here to do. That's our cause and mission, is to help our fellow Americans across the United States of America. Let me do a check here real quick. I'm going to put in the chat right now. So if you need to DM for any good reason, definitely reach out and we'll talk and we'll chat. I believe we're supposed to chit chat with a young man who needed some help in, I'm not sure what city, but I'll double check that real quick. And let me see what we got going on here. All right. Let me go ahead and change this up so you can see my mug. There we go. I like this one better. Cool. And then I'm going to pull this up. So what we're all about, the spring awesomeness. It's public service announcement. Is obviously live 6 months one-on-one mentoring, streaming live. Watch the live. Watch it all the way through. Once again, I'm not an attorney. I'm not a doctor. What does that have to do? That's funny that I say that because I'm thinking doctor, because when we diagnose deals, it's almost like being a doctor. You're an expert. You go, hey, is this a sub-2 deal, wholesale deal? So I'm backtracking on that one, right? What I meant to say is I'm just rolling, right? So I am on automatic right now. There's no script or anything. A little bit of an overview of what's going to be discussed today, what we're going to talk about, which is obviously affordable housing. And the uptick of that's going on with the market and what's kind of going on in the market. A couple of public service announcements. But once again, I'm not an attorney. I am not a bookkeeper, financial analyst, any of that good stuff. It's for entertainment purposes. If you like what's going on here, awesome, cool. I am suited up today. So usually I think tomorrow we're going to be doing some awesome stuff with a young man here in Southern California. And we're going to go do some door knocking. Not one of my favorite things, but I know old school with new school freaking works, right? So I'm telling you. So like when new school's rocking and rolling, people forget about the old school. Or they get a little lazy and like, yeah, that's not going to work, or it's too crazy. Look, the crazier the better, because that means you're not following, the sheep, right? You're not following the masses. You're traveling the road less traveled, which means you're going to get what you get at the end of the day. It's going to be awesome. You get a handful of people rocking and rolling, kind of build your rock and rollness there and a core team. Then then stuff works. Trust me. Every type, I call them verticals, right? Every type of marketing or vertical works if you hyper focus on it and you become the expert at that. And then rinse and repeat. Get somebody to monitor it and manage it, and then keep on rocking and rolling, right? Well, we all need leads. We all need deals. So let me see. All right, rock and roll. Mr. V is here. Let me go ahead and add you on there. Let's see what we got. Turn it on real quick. So there we go. Okay, so we got Mr. V on here. Mr. V for Victor Victorious and his business and real estate and all that good stuff. Victorious Real Solutions. He's got some other things that he's got going on, which are pretty interesting. Hey, how you doing, man? Let me see if I can get the volume rolling here. Maybe it's me. Oh, yeah. What? 70, 80, 60%. Okay, cool. You got your thing unmuted? Yeah. Let me see. Are we having a problem with, let me check the.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Cool. How's it going?
It's going good.
Good, man. Awesome. Thanks for attending. We'll make it quick, fast. We'll talk about, public service announcements, affordable housing, land. I'm going to open it up. And if you want to close it up of what we're looking for throughout the United States of America, as well as, good people to work with, mentees, recruits, all that good stuff. And if we can help you or anybody out there, we'd love to do it, right? So that's what we're all about. I was getting into a little bit of just kind of opening it up a little bit about who we are, what we do, who I am, what I do, and obviously we'll get into your stuff here. And I want you to introduce yourself and throw down your tags and all that good stuff, or as far as social media and all that good stuff, right? And I was getting into what we do, our fellow Americans, right? I was sharing that, hey, definitely share, like, and love. We appreciate it. We're looking for good people across the United States of America. AHA, Americans Helping Americans. As you first saw, I got my name in there, Erick Jimenez, and I like the American stuff. Wasn't like that before, but hey, it's kind of grown on the brand with AHA. No pun intended, with the AHA stuff and Americans Helping Americans. Some people go, hey, it could be anybody, right? It could be human beings helping human beings, right? Or not beans, but human beings, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, man? But that's where we're just going to come on here and share a little bit of that. I got some things I want to share on the side here. We're obviously using this beautiful platform to stream live on several platforms at one time. Victor's gotten pretty good at doing some of this stuff, and we've been talking about several things, and we're going to open up the doors, right, to stuff that I am not usually wanting to do. But, if you got somebody like Victor, and we got Erlene, we got Ray, we got Sweden, we got Jacob, we got other people that are willing to tap in and to help with that, or even you, if you feel that, hey, there's a spot where you'd like to come and work with us in some capacity, besides the mentoring program, because we do have the one-on-one mentoring program, and that's right there. I'm going to close that out real quick. That was just one of the PSA announcements, right? Let's go ahead and introduce yourself, brother, Mr. Victor.
Yeah. Well, obviously, thank you for the introduction, Eric, so far and stuff, letting everybody know who I am. But my name is Victor from Victorious Real Solutions. I partnered up and been working with Erick and AHA for about 5 years now. It's been an amazing experience. We're still hunking and chunking, always closing deals. We're actually in the middle of working on an awesome fix and flip and stuff right now. So that is a great thing to be doing right now. Hold on 1 second. Let me put my laptop on the charger. Man. But yeah, it's been great. And I'm just excited to talk about all these other opportunities and stuff and all these new avenues that we're thinking about getting into. Like, I know we've dabbled in a few of them, like with the land and stuff like that, and we've talked about it and helped other people, by JVing and stuff like that. But now we're thinking ourselves about opening up the door of, doing all that type of low income housing, land, and, building and stuff like that. So that's super exciting, man. And thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, no problem. For sure. So let's get into it a little bit. And obviously talking about stuff that's on. So a couple of public service announcements. Obviously, we're looking for good people across the United States of America for our one-on-one mentoring program. That's AMP Live, the American Mentee Program. I'll share a little bit about myself. Hopefully share a little bit of kind of like, your background, where you're from, if that's okay, if you're cool with that, then definitely do it, right? Because obviously we got, the goal is to connect with people. And that's what we're here to do. That's why we're doing this lovely stuff. I will tell you, from the last cycle and trying to do this stuff, dealing with Citrix and a bunch of other companies, this would literally cost like tens and thousands of dollars to do. So it's a beautiful thing. Take advantage of it. If you're out there and you're afraid of video, just go for it, right? I didn't want to do this stuff either. And I figured, hey, let's just, forget the video. Let's just do our thing. Let's kind of, do our own thing. And what we're thinking, the market's shifting and changing, right? So everything it is about, Erick Jimenez is the brand. Victorious Real Solutions is his brand, right? It's always about the brand, but even more so now it's about you, right? And that's what we're here to do. If you can relate to this and you're like, you know what, I'm just, like I was talking about earlier, say, look, I'm tired of spinning my wheels, trying to figure this out. I spent 500, 10,000, 15, 20, 30,000 bucks or more, still spinning my wheels. I need someone to work with me exclusively, to handhold and work with me like a consultant, right? But it's more than that. It's mentoring, working together. So when you're stuck, we're there working it out, right? And you know that how that goes, Victor, right? We're chatting, we're getting into the deal, we're underwriting the deal, we're on the phone with you, working deals and underwriting deals and writing them up, and the goal is to get them closed and close of escrow to make that money. I know we had some crazy stuff like the Texas 10. We had that crazy dome property. So that right there was like anything could freaking be sold, but it doesn't mean we want to have all those types of deals. But it was an awesome, cool experience with the freaking dome pad and acreage and freaking cars all over the place and guns and freaking, I don't know if there was chickens and goats and all kinds of weird shit, right? But it's cool. We helped that guy out. He was even in BK. helped him out. And it's like, look, man, he just, for whatever reason, he gravitated towards you. I jumped in like we do. We tag team it. He was, a little bit, iffy and washy here and there. And so he finally felt like, man, yeah, these guys and the company and these people are really here to help me out. They're the only ones helping my ass out, right? And that's what we pride ourselves in, to the point where we're working with the seller, which I think would be great for you or anybody out there saying, look, you have to worry about someone circumvent you because you built that relationship with them, knowing that you're going over and above the call of duty to help them no matter what. It's not really like about the money. It's about taking on their property like it's your property, taking on their problems like they're your problems, but you have solutions for those problems, right, man? And he literally, after he got going with us, it was like, yeah, he shooting pictures with his goats and shit, right? Sending them over and, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I can't wait to get done with this shit, right? And move on, which is a great thing, and made a couple of bucks and made some new friends and stuff. And that's what really this is all about, right? At the same token, yeah, sure, you want to scale up maybe. Maybe it's you want to build a creative real estate investment firm. Maybe it's a wholesale firm, right? Maybe it's just, hey, I just want to, buy, sell, fix, and flip. Or maybe it's buy and hold, right? Like you wanted, hey, I'm going to get some land, brother. Let's do some land. Let's go ahead and start JVing with some of these people across the United States of America, besides our own mentees that we work with exclusively, right? And right. So long as you're willing to be that extension or that arm, you or anybody else that comes along says, shit, I'll do it. Let's go for it. Put in the work and let's roll, right? As long as we got some of our ducks in a row, I say let's do it, right? Like today, like we're talking about Texas. Missouri, there's lots of land. There's some cool land out there. Yeah. Texas, lots of land, just depends on where we buy it. Texas Triangle or some places, right? Where else? Ohio, certain spots. Tennessee. Florida is like California, right? There's a lot of shit all over the place, right? But even Southern California, there's spots up here, I'm not going to lie, Victor, that we went to and took a look at. I go, I didn't even know this shit was here. I never even heard of this town, and I've been here for several decades, man. And I'm going, what? 50,000, 100,000, 80,000, 180,000, and it comes with a modular home? And then I started thinking and talking with other people kind of like you, right? My cousin and partners, associates that I work with, like, hey, how about the mini home stuff, right? How about building a little mini compound, right? How about affordable housing? Yeah, Amazon's doing some crazy stuff. I know we got what's the other thing? Those metal containers. Those are some pretty badass houses that people are building with containers.
The storage containers?
Storage containers, man. And they're super cheap. You can, of course, getting them and what do you call it? Building them all out and fabricating those. But there's people that do it nowadays, man, right? I've seen some of the mini houses. Some of them I don't like because they look like little freaking jails or something, man. It's like, you want the nice ones that have some character, and they look, shit you see on TV. I get it, but those are there and they're cost effective. And just all we need is like one unit of a house. And even if it's not ready to sell, as long as it taps into electricity, some plumbing, right? And do what we need to do and build a little community with houses around it and center and all that good stuff, which I think is awesome, which people are calling what? Co-living, calling pad split. Back in the day, it was just called roommates, right? But, things are changing, man. So as I always say, adjust, adapt, or perish. What do you think about all that, man? Because I know we're going to be hunting some land in Texas, right? We're going to be looking at Missouri as well, and Southern California. So the outskirts of Southern California, if anybody out there, if you watch this video and you have some land and you're trying to unload it, definitely get a caller so we can look at it, underwrite it. Same thing for any type of property, single family, pre-foreclosures, probates, any of that good stuff. As long as it's a distressed property, we want to look at it and underwrite it. If we can get you paid, cool. If not, let's run it through our network, this joint venture, because we're geared up to do that now. And I know that Victor is going to talk a little bit about that because I want to hear a little bit more because I know you've been hunting some stuff, right? And kind of tell us what you've been thinking about, which is probably, it is on the same lines of what we've been thinking about, right? As far as like the compounds, affordable housing, little communities and things of that nature. And it seems like that's a growing trend thanks to the government and coming up with affordable housing and wanting to do that, right? And the millennials and different generations and stuff, right? Where people are like, hey, I want to live in a spot, but I want to take care of the front yard, the backyard, and all the maintenance and stuff that comes with the property. Those are kind of like a hybrid or a super hybrid of condos, right? But it's very interesting. So go ahead and share a little bit about that and what you're looking for and what we're looking for, obviously in Texas, and then obviously Missouri, and then Southern California. Of course, we'll look at anything anywhere: Montana, Tennessee, Florida. Doesn't matter where it's at. Oregon, United States of America. We can do something with it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking for obviously anything that we can just check out. I mean, the numbers have to work for us, obviously. So anything that gets brought to us, we will break down, check it out, see if it fits one of our strategies and stuff. But out here in the Midwest, coming from California, it's a lot different out here. There's a lot of land. That's why I said, like, being out here, man, we need to get more involved in the land stuff. Not, and focus on helping on what's growing, like you said, and stuff with the storage unit homes and stuff. And then there's people that are literally buying land and making them in the compounds, yes, but also they're doing it to where it's like small little communities where they're putting little houses in rows and stuff, trying to build
Mm-hmm.
their own little safe haven where they can start to try to build their own little community and be a little bit more self-sufficient. I see a lot of that type of stuff going on out here.
Yeah.
A lot of low income homes and stuff like that, and like veterans and stuff, or maybe I see a lot of elderly people, living out here and stuff that I mean they're getting to that age where they're at a point where it's like they're either going to keep the house and let the house continue to get worse because they can't do much, or where we step in and we could help them and everything. So I'm seeing a lot of that type of stuff out here going on.
Okay.
But,
That's a good point. I mean, because
yeah,
that's something that should be touched on, and that's like like for example, that gentleman when we were able to help that guy, right? And he was in bankruptcy and didn't he was on a time limit. Wasn't sure if he's gonna be able to sell the house, right?
yeah,
Anybody who's distressed out there, definitely reach out to us. Shoot a DM
right,
to somewhere here, send it off to Victor, send it to Erlene, Ray, any of us that are associated. Just get it to us, and we can underwrite it, take a look at it. You can send us the address, send us the telephone number, do an introduction, and our goal would be to help them because a lot of times, the mom and the dad, the cousin, the banks are not going to, it is what it is, right? They're not their friend; they're a loan number, right?
yeah.
And we're able to step in and help them in one capacity or another, and that's either help them with their house, buy the property, work with the bank or whatever needs to happen, get them some money to move on, or work something out. Even if they want to keep the house, everything is dictated based on the time frame and their situation, right? And our goal is just to come up with those solutions. So that's a wonderful point, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, there's places like this everywhere. Obviously, there's places that need rehabilitation, to get cleaned up, and the neighborhoods aren't looking so well. So I see, there's a lot of different places out here that kind of have these neighborhoods where they're great opportunities for investors and stuff, for people to come in and be able to help that community by jumping in, fixing and cleaning up some of the houses in the area and stuff, and bringing up the value of the property and stuff over there, and then actually being able to provide better housing to them. So like I said, there's a lot of properties coming onto the market. I've seen some crazy
Okay.
ones that that are like 4 units and stuff like that, but 2 units aren't livable, but the other two are, and yet they got tenants living in there, and I'm just like, how is this? Like, so I see that type of stuff. I see there's all different types of opportunities and everything, and that's why, like, we're opening ourselves up to all that. So anybody that does have any type of land, or if it's anything that's maybe in a certain area where you think, oh, nobody might want to buy it because it might be a certain type of deemed neighborhood or anything like that, bring it to our attention and stuff, because we always look at everything. We're open to everything and stuff, and we always end up having some way somehow, um, like a solution. I mean, that's all I could pretty much say, because I mean,
Yeah.
there's been times uh, we had to help a guy all the way up in Tahoe and stuff. I don't know if you remember the guy up in Tahoe, but I literally had to drive 3 hours to go help him and stuff. That's how dedicated we are here and everything. Like, I drove 3 to 3.5 hours just to go meet him, help him with what he was going through and stuff like that. Remember the old school OG military guy and stuff?
Hmm. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Mr. Rambo, or yeah.
yeah. He felt like he was Rambo
Right.
and stuff, but he was a cool guy and stuff,
Yep.
So, and that property that he was in foreclosure, it was all like upside down, torn, with the situation of like the wife passing, and then like he owed so much on it and everything. And remember, there was like all
Yeah.
these weird attachments and stuff to it,
Yeah.
and
A lot of
then
stuff was going on.
yeah, a lot of stuff was going on and everything. I mean, and we had to do with that one. That's just another example of different types of deals and projects that come aboard or stuff or that we come across and everything. So we're open, and like I said, seeing all these new different types of things out here with the land and how they're changing things and stuff, and even like the mobile home and those units and stuff.
Yep.
There's a lot of opportunity out here, and there's not enough investors, dude. I'm honestly saying there's not enough investors, I think, out here to be doing this fast enough. Like, there's a lot of areas that need some real replenishment. They need to be uplifted. They need to have a bunch of investors coming in. So that brings me to the point to where if you're in the Kansas City, Missouri area or Kansas area and stuff like that, or even in Texas and stuff, we see this in Texas, we see it in Washington, we see it everywhere and stuff, even Chicago, all these types of places. Um, there's not enough of us out there. So if you're thinking about becoming an investor and learning how to do this and targeting and like honing and zoning in on your market area, I suggest you start doing that now, because I mean, more and more are coming on the market, and we're constantly looking for solid individuals to come be a part of the team. And we could help you with these motivated seller leads. We could help you if you already have a lead, if you already have the contract and you don't know what to do. I mean, there's just so much stuff that we could help people with, because that's what we've been doing. I mean,
Right.
even being out here, we've been helping other investors and stuff that can't unload a property probably, or don't know every single in and out of how to get into title and escrow and stuff. And I think that that's a pretty good thing for us to just be able to be there for people like that, that need
Right.
help and everything. So, I mean, I know I went from talking about the trends and what I see and stuff, talking to
Right.
about how those trends could create more investors, but that's really what I'm trying to get at, is that there's opportunity there for everyone. So whoever's listening, I don't care where you're at and stuff, like right in your backyard, right around the corner, I'm gonna tell you that there's probably a property that's messed up, run down, or it's probably gonna go up on the market soon, and you can get it before it does and make it your first deal. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you guys have on your table, share it with us. We're open, we're willing to help and everything. Just know, we JV and stuff, it's usually on our terms. We do it nice, we know we're fair and everything and stuff like that, but we like working with others and stuff, because the end goal is to close the deal and smile, walk into the bank. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that we made a deal happen and we closed
Right.
it.
Yeah, no, it's an awesome feeling, man. I remember when actually I think it was a FedEx of some sort came down the wire and boom, opened it up, and you got your check and all that good stuff, right? So it's always a good feeling with anybody. I know when I got my first check, right, I think I framed that son of a bitch a long time ago, and showed it to Liz and my family, and then I put it in a frame. Then I took a picture, with my mentor and shit, and excuse my French, but it was an awesome feeling. And it was like, yes, got it done, right? What's a great feeling is that you're not alone. You're not going to ever be alone when you're working with us, right? Because I know what it's like. I know what it's like when I got started, man. There was nobody to help me. There's nobody to answer any freaking questions. I talked to brokers. I talked to real estate agents. They didn't know what the hell I was talking about, or they say that's illegal. You can't do that. Just go get your license, and just do what you're supposed to do and fall in line and go do that, right? And I'm like, man, no, I don't. I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I like the language of an investor. Go find me an ugly house and I'll pay you. And then I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll learn more, because all I wanted to do is fix and flip and buy and hold. None of this creative stuff. I didn't know it existed. I knew there was something there, but I wasn't quite sure. And that's the beauty about what we do, right? So even like I pull up this stuff right here, right? Now, obviously everybody comes aboard, they get some marketing and they piggyback on AHA, America's How Americans, we buy houses, and then building your brand, helping you build your brand, like your brand, Victorious Real Solutions, right? Once you graduate and you get to the point and we're done with our 6 months, or we're done 12 months and partnering up and all that good stuff, you're like, boom, The goal is to get your brand rolling. And if you decide that you want to coach and mentor with us, awesome, come aboard. The door's open. Or saying, hey, you want to open up an office in freaking Missouri or Texas and you're game, we're game too, right? Because I'd rather partner with people that we trust and like and all that good stuff anyways, right? Yeah. That's what we've been doing. That's the essence of AHA, Americans Helping Americans, and AMP Live, right? Is to partner up together and we trust each other with integrity, loyalty, and communication. As I always say, I'm going to say it all the time. That's the credo, right? Communication breakdown, because you got a lovely family, Victor. So do I. We all do, right? But the first two, once they're broken, there's no reason to do business anymore, right? And I learned that the hard way. I didn't know, until, I got circumvented and people go around my back to try to steal my deal. But then I go, well, I think I'm a likable person, to a degree. I think I did the right thing with the seller and I was honest with them. And I wasn't BSing them, and it's all black and white and everything's on the table and my hands are open to them. And I learned something triggered there. Go, shit. They'd rather work with someone like me in our company than someone just telling whatever and blowing smoke up their butt and then trying to backpedal. We can't pay you this because of this, and that. They never got any of that from us, right? Or from me. And of course, that became a credo for your business, right? That we share with others. And you're going, well, how do we avoid that? And I think we were talking about earlier today, or I'm not sure if it was you. I think so, right? About the NC&Ds. You go, what the hell is a non-disclosure, non-circumvent? Why do I have to sign that? Or why would I sign that if you're going to try to wholesale a deal to me, right? Or anything like that. Depends on where you're at. But I'm also seeing more and more of it. It pops up in little situations when I'm having these conversations with people across the United States of America, right? And they're going, yeah, they're saying I got to sign this now. That just tells me that whatever they're doing before, they're doing it for free, and they're giving out stuff, and they're getting circumvented. That's why they're coming up with contracts agreements. Even New Western, they weren't doing any non-disclosures, non-circumvents 10, 15 years ago when they started. I think they just started when all the wholesalers started getting momentum about 3, 4, 5 years ago. Now it's like, let's qualify you. Let's see what you're about. Let's come to my office. Let's go ahead and get an NC&D in place. And then even now, everybody's trying to do the buyer's thing, right? Well, I got to have you sign my buyer investor, agreement, right? Which I'm not a fan of, because look, if I'm looking for properties, I find properties, I don't want to go through you as an agent. I would sign it better off if you're like a real estate investor without the brokerage type side of things, right? But it is what it is, right? You just read it, look at it, and then go for it. Ours is a little longer because we're like, hey, this is what it is. And some people are going, oh, why are you trying to lock me up? Nobody's trying to lock up anybody, right? So maybe here's like the lesson of the day. While we're doing this, look, we're going to rock deals together. That's the only reason why I've throttled it. I said, nah, I don't want to mess with just any Joe Blow out there. I'm not saying you're a Joe Blow if you're watching this, right? But at the end of the day, we just work with lovely people, but we got to, at least know each other, break a little bread. If we're good to go, let's rock, no attitudes, no bullshit, no drama, right, brother? And, that's the policy. let's just do deals and make some money and celebrate our wins together, right? So with that said, we're having some of that stuff happen in the Midwest. I haven't had anybody tell me that, or suggest that we signed that in 8 years. I go, well, that's beautiful for you. Or maybe it just whatever. Because a text can get lost in translation, right?
Yeah.
It happens all the time. I was just doing some text earlier. And it's like, like, what the hell are you talking about? Shit, let's just get on the phone. And then, of course, man, I got to wear these things, right? So you're lucky. You don't need these right now, right? So when I'm texting shit, it's like, what the hell? Backbone? No, that's not what that meant. What the fuck? Was that? I look at the text. I go, I don't even know what the hell that means. Right? So I got a little oops and go, hey, just give me a call. Let's chat. So a lot of things like that. Other public service announcements are just that. Willing to do joint ventures, right, brother?
Right.
So I know Victor, he's hot and heavy and ready to rock and roll. I send a lot down the pipeline so he can underwrite, take a look at it. Let's get some offers out, acquisitions. That's awesome, right? And then more stuff's coming down the wire saying, shit, I'll dispo some shit. Let's go for it. Let's build a dispo team as well and go that direction or whatever needs to happen. I know that I've been chatting with some people with the door knocking thing, which I said, look, it's old school. Not everybody wants to do it. But I'm telling you, Texas is super aggressive in how you think they're getting deals. Making phone calls, cold calling, text marketing, and knocking on them damn doors, face-to-face stuff because it works, right?
Yeah.
And California, same thing. So I'm willing to, whoever's willing to move forward, I can always devise and put in the missing pieces or put in the pieces where we can scale it up a little bit, right? And get people papered up and get some skin in the game with people. If that's you and you're watching this, you're like, hey, you're in Southern California, even like right now, tomorrow you want to hook up, do a DM, chit chat, let's chat, let's go out. We're going to go out here in San Bernardino County. Let's rock and roll and learn some stuff. You're going to learn some stuff if you're brand new. If you're not brand new, that's cool. Come down and learn anyways and meet and greet and all that good stuff and get some coffee and go hit some deals, right? Let's go after some deals to make some money. Same token, when Victor's ready to scale that up, then that'll be Missouri or Texas. And with the same thing of what we're going to do, a joint venture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, ventures, you know, I am a paper guy. I'm a clouds guy. You know, Texas handshakes are cool. Those are good when you kind of like us, right? When you do some business together and other core people, that because you feel good about it, right? You know each other. But in the beginning, to keep everybody safe and stuff like that or whatever, yeah, we got some just simple rules, right? And however you want to do it, brother, right? So you'll put that little survey together, boom, whatever we need. Hey, we can even use the technology. I know we use RC, we can use Discord or whatever. And I'm sharing it right now because it's not rocket science, right? This stuff is not rocket science. And if you're willing to tap into that and help with that, we'll just keep loading them up.
Yeah.
They put them on AmericansHelpingAmericans.net as far as putting deals on there with the spreadsheet or just loading up them son of bitches with Sweden, putting them up in there. But then there'll be like a password with some protected pages. So only the A-list people and rock and roll people can get in there, anybody in the network. If you want to upload them there or whatever, we'll figure all that stuff out.
Yeah.
Like you see right here, we buy houses, right? We buy houses, ugly ones too. That's what it's all about. It's been like that for decades, right? You know, like, hey, you don't see that a lot where you see some newbies, they're going to be doing stuff and other people that have been in the business for a long time, right? What do? They're house buyers, right? We buy houses. I say we buy houses, ugly ones too, right? Because that's it. Even nice homes. We like nice homes in nice areas. But as far as like the land and stuff that we're looking, kind of tell us a little bit about what we're looking for. We're looking for properties and we're looking for land, commercial property as well. Kind of spit that out a little bit if you could. Share it with everybody. As you know, this is always live and uncut. And then we'll chop it up, monetize it, and make shorts and all that good stuff. So, spit out some juicy stuff for everybody so they can maybe digest it, bring us deals, or if they want to come aboard and work with us in some capacity, mentoring, coaching, whatever. But, that's what we're all about, right? So go ahead, if you could, man, maybe share some things that I missed.
I mean, it's kind of hard, man. I mean, you pretty much always clear out everything, man. Don't really leave me anything to really say.
Oh, shit. Well, you gotta work on that, man. Okay.
But all I know is just like based on everything that I've seen and stuff, and just like being where I was, okay. I never knew anything really about real estate. I always wanted to do real estate, so it was kind of hard for me to want to jump and get into real estate, but once I did, it was a good feeling. Like when I wasn't really comfortable. Remember, I told you I was spinning my wheels and stuff like that and everything. And then I came across you and we ended up talking. I came aboard, and then like within that first 30 days, we ended up with the Texas 10, and stuff. And like I know today we've been talking a lot about Texas and stuff because Texas is a hot market, dude. Like they're door knocking out there. I don't see a lot of door knockers out here. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we got to get that type of situation going on over here and where I'm at right now. Yep. I know that'll help, especially I'm in a college town. So there's a bunch of college kids. And I know there's potential everywhere and stuff. But like I said, when I first started and stuff and I didn't know what to do, you helped me, you coached me and everything. This was like 5 years ago and we got the Texas 10. And now it's kind of funny because 5 years later, we're circling right back to that same kind of location. Yeah. And we're circling back to that location and we're doing more deals there now and stuff. And it's just an awesome thing. I mean, yeah, there's all types of deals and stuff all over the United States that we're always looking at, whether they're big or small. If you don't know like how to break down the numbers and stuff like that, we're willing to help. Like Eric said, you can come aboard. If you don't come aboard, even though you don't, we're still willing to help you and stuff. Maybe even partner up, JV or something like that. But if anybody has any questions about anything and stuff like that, I don't know if you guys can literally put it in the chat right here. Put it in the chat or reach out to one of us, like to Eric or to myself. I can tell you a little story about myself. I don't know if that's something you guys want to hear or relate to, but
of course. You know, people are, man. I know I want to see stuff.
Yeah, I
I just
mean,
don't lay it out a lot. I know people been telling me you
yeah,
gotta be more, you gotta tell your story and this and that. So I
right.
get it. Go for it. Lay it out, brother.
Well, all right. Let me cover that. All right. So before I got into real estate, I was on a different path in life. I was tattooing and doing spiritual healing and music and stuff like that, which is still great. I still enjoy doing
Yep.
it sometimes here and there.
Awesome.
Those companies are still going good and stuff. I just don't fully involve myself like that no more on those ones. So I transitioned into real estate, and it has completely changed my life. I never thought I'd be able to do it. I was born and raised in Northern California, the Bay Area to be exact. I was from Richmond. If anybody knows about that area and stuff, I'll tell you, Richmond is not a great place to live in. It's filled with gangs, violence, and um, a lot of crime. So it was hard. And where I was raised and how we lived and stuff, we never thought it would be in, like, I could say, I guess, in my cards and in my future to own a home or to be financially free or more stable than what my family has been, right? So that's what I was prone to thinking my whole life and stuff. But as I got older and stuff, and I got with Eric and we started like hunking and chunking and doing deals and stuff, the whole thing that I kept thinking to myself is that I can make a difference. I can do this, and I did, and I am. You know what I'm saying? It's an amazing experience. It's crazy. It's a crazy feeling to know, like, I don't know how to explain it, but to know that you own a property and you own a rental property and it's bringing you income every month and just going smoothly. And you know that 98% of the rest of your family hasn't done that yet. And you're younger than mostly all of them. And they see that and stuff. So they know that now the tides are changing, things are changing. So that's my reason why I continue to keep doing it. That's why I haven't stopped. And even opened up another venture for me to open up another business doing comics and collectibles and stuff like that, live sales and everything,
Yeah.
because I was at the right place kind of at the right time with a pre-foreclosure that we were helping somebody with. So all these things that I'm dropping to you guys and stating to you guys is because of the simple fact that I thought I wasn't going to be able to do it at one point, but I am now. And it's once you take that step in, it's like you just got to stay focused and know, like, I already took this step. It doesn't matter if my ancestors or everybody else in my family wasn't able to do it. I know I can do it. And so it's like if you put your foot forward and you do make that accomplishment happen and you do it, that is an amazing feeling. It's an amazing experience. And it doesn't matter if you have haters or not. Put this in your mind that anybody that hates on you or wants to throw negative energy towards you or any type of stuff like that, have your mind rethink that, right, and use it as, okay, anybody that throws that type of energy towards me is just fueling my my growth. That's all they're doing. All their hatred and all their negativity and all the drama and stuff. Detach yourself from it. Believe in yourself, because that's what happens. It'll come. When I first started and I was hunking and chunking and we was about to get this deal on contract and everything, boom, drama started happening. Oh, my auntie had drama. This person had drama. Think about it. Your life is prone to having these type of things that try to prevent you from reaching that successful point in your life, right? We all know that. Some more than others, especially if you kind of came from upbringing like me, especially if you live in a very Catholic type oriented family. They're very spiritual, very religious, and everything could be demons or curses and this and that and stuff. And you just kind of got to break out of that shit, dude. I
True.
had to get the
Yeah.
fuck up. Like I said, I'm very spiritual.
It's
I
funny.
believe in certain stuff and everything, but I also know that we have the power to fucking break it and stuff. And that power was given to us by the one creator. And that same creator has given us the power to do whatever we want in life. So stop holding yourself back like I was at one point and take the step, you know. And we'll be there if you want to team up with us. We'll be there. Like I said, I came from nothing. It was very hard for me to take this step, but I did take it. And literally, the first deal literally paid for all the knowledge, all everything. Just the first deal alone, just the knowledge, everything that I've learned, paid for the whole tuition, paid for everything. Like, and this is the thing. I know it's like, oh yeah, you come aboard, you get the 6 months or the 1 year program and stuff. But this is the thing. It's longer than that. I've been here for 5 years. You know, I've been sticking around for 5 years with what I say one of the best teams and stuff. Not because we're like all over social media and everything like that. It's just because we're still small and tight knit and close that we literally work only us together, and we make sure that we're all doing the best that we can. We're not just trying to have you just come up in here and have you start spinning your wheels because it doesn't help us. So know that coming here, you're taking that step and it's the right step. It's not like any other program that I've been across and seen because before I got with Eric, that's what made me not want to do it anymore was because I took other small little programs and packets and like little cheat sheets and stuff and it really didn't do anything for me. I really needed somebody to mentor and coach me and stuff. And now I'm helping Eric do the same with others. I've done it in the past. When I lived in California, we had an office out there. I'm actually thinking about, and I was going to tell you, Erica, once things get settled out here and stuff, and I get to where I want to go from where I'm at right now, we'll set up an office over there out there in the big Texas.
Yep.
We'll set up a fat office out there for us and stuff in
Okay.
Texas,
Game.
like we did back in California.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's all exciting and stuff, everybody. And I just want you guys to understand we're a great team. Uh, if you guys decide to come aboard or even work with us temporarily on a JV or something like that, you'll see that it's a very cool environment. We're willing to help each other out. Um, I'm always around. Eric's always around, and we have Liz, we have Sweden, we have everybody that is at your disposal whenever you guys need us and everything. And I'm just rambling, dude, because I'm just talking about all the good stuff. It's all coming
Yeah.
to me at once. I'm
Perfect.
sorry, Eric.
Yeah.
I
That's
just talked
flowing,
about
brother.
how my life has changed, bro. It's crazy because like I don't even know how to begin to explain it. Because like I tell you, dude, all the time, it's a big thing when I can literally tell my family, like, yeah, that one right there is my rental. That one right there is my rental. That one, yes, we've been fixing it up and flipping it. Or yeah, that one's closing. It's just to be able to say that these things that I've only seen that other people were able to say in their life.
Yeah.
Now I'm one of those people. It's a freaking huge change. It's so different, but it's a great feeling, and it's just like it's a frequency. When you vibe at that frequency and stuff, it's kind of like you don't want to let it go.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel you. That's awesome, man. No, thank you for sharing that. And a lot of our mentees that come aboard are from all different walks of life, right? And being personal is very intimate, and it takes a lot of courage, man. So I proud of you for sharing that with us, man. It's more and more than myself, right? I usually just do the top layer of what I've been, what I've seen and done,
Yeah.
but that's what it's about. That's one reason why I got into real estate was to help others with the real estate issues. Period. Like real estate, deals, knowing how
Mhm.
emotional it could be, and then it started moving after after we rock and roll with deals and the crash and then the bottom and then seeing all the crazy stuff that goes on. Like I was going to ask you a question, like what was one of your biggest hurdles? What was one of your biggest obstacles when you're getting into this business? And then how did we fix that, right? Almost because
Yeah.
I was talking about earlier today a little bit like, hey, I'm not a financial analyst, and I said doctor, right? I don't know what I was
Mhm.
thinking, but I was thinking like that's usually how it is because you're analyzing a deal, you're analyzing people to say where what needs to be fixed here so we can fix you, right? And then it was kind of funny that I said that, but I meant to say financial analyst. I'm not a bookkeeper, It's just like a full disclosure, right? For entertainment purposes, if you love this stuff, share it, like, and love it, right? But you may be able to take some of the stuff into the field, and we get together, we work together. Then it becomes intimate. We're sharing proprietary stuff with you. But what was like one of your biggest obstacles? Because I know a lot of people share the same stuff, and after you're done, shit, I'll throw out and say what was my biggest obstacle, and I'd like to share that maybe, and maybe it'll relate to a lot of people that are out there watching this. Just watch it all the way through, back and forth. Go for it.
My biggest obstacle, man, was like I pointed a second ago. I went here. My biggest obstacle for the longest was my mind. It wasn't the money. It's because I would find a way. I mean, it's not about And that's another thing, everybody. It's not about the money and stuff. We'll figure some stuff out. If you guys really want to come aboard, there's a way we could help you guys with financing the payment plan. I think they're doing in-house stuff now, is what I remember correctly,
Yeah.
and that will help you guys tremendously. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't have that when I started, so you guys will be lucky having that. That's a great new addition to the programs and stuff that Eric and stuff have. But my biggest hurdle was my mind. It was, am I good enough? Am I going to be able to close this? Even sometimes now, I'll be straight up, completely honest and transparent. Even sometimes now, I have to think, oh man, is this worth it? Is this the right thing for me? Right? And it's the mental thing. But what helped me was when I started picking up the book, Think and Grow Rich, right? And
Yeah.
Eric recommended that one to me.
All right.
And then the
It's like a
17
requirement,
principles,
right?
yeah,
Tell
the
warn
17
you
principles to
required reading.
success. And I started reading those, and I started comprehending the stuff, and just day by day, it was weird. It was just like the book was influencing me by just reading it.
That's what it did to me.
And even now, sometimes when I'm feeling like, even like when I'm a little depressed or worried or like feeling frustrated, dude, I'm like, hold on, dude. Let me go get my like my life Bible. There's a difference from like a religious Bible and then the life Bible. That book kind of helps me. It's like, okay, I read it,
Awesome.
and it kind of brings things back to perspective and reality. It's like, okay, you
Right.
have control of this. That's what those books really talk about. Is like how much control we really have of over everything, believe it or not. And we've been governed to think that we don't have control over our mind, over our lives, over our finances, over anything. And that's not the truth. Like, the thing is, it all starts with up here. So if you can control this, then everything else can go smoothly. Like, so that was my biggest obstacle, was taking my mind out of
Okay.
one type of mentality and
That's cool.
shifting into another.
Yeah.
Because once I shifted to another, then even abundance of more money. Like, I was already having money come in from the way I was living and the way I was, thinking and manifesting and stuff. But
Yeah,
when
you're
I
a rock and roller, man. You're doing
yeah,
your thing. So
yeah, so when I came into to real estate and stuff, it just amped up more, and it was just like it kept going. And then even then with the comic books and the collectibles and stuff,
mhm.
now that grew and stuff. It's just like now it's like coming from all over the place, And I wanted to continue because like now I'm wanting to branch it out more and stuff and be able to like get into more land deals and stuff. That's
Mhm.
juicy, man. I'm telling you, man. Like, that's exciting. I
Yeah.
can't wait to have some more people bring some more of those onto the table for us to
I
check
know you've
out.
been talking about it for a while. I was like, I
Yeah,
finally
man. Like,
land.
that's how we're gonna have to do it, man. We're gonna have to own the land. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? This is
Yeah.
like Yellowstone.
Yeah.
This
All
is
right.
like
Yeah.
1923, bro. It's like
You're from
1883. It's like
Montana.
all those, dude. Yeah, that's exactly how it
Forever
is.
is
But that was my biggest hurdle, man. Like that
okay.
it was my biggest hurdle was
That
that,
makes sense.
because it was like I can easily go and find a way to make some money. I could do a tattoo, or I could go help a friend, and or I could even, if I have to, get a side job or whatever,
Hmm. Yeah.
and make the money and stuff. But I had to say, hey, if I did all that, if I had to do all this, is it worth it at the end of the day? Is your mind gonna think like, can you do this? And at that point in time, the way I was raised and the way I was living and
Hmm.
stuff, no, I didn't think I could really and stuff. So I was trying, and then what it was is that there was a transition. There was a point where it shifted, and it was just like, okay, things started to click, and it really had a lot to do with. And I'm not trying to give this book like so much glory and stuff,
Sure.
but it did. It really did, dude. Like, I read it and stuff, and even sometimes now, lately, more when I'm, like I said, feeling a certain way
Yeah.
and trying to figure things out, or I'm like even stuck with brain fog. I'm like, hold on,
Yeah.
let me start just going through, and I'll go through the whole book and stuff, because the whole book is like highlighted in different parts and stuff. But then something in my mind will just say stop, and I'll stop and I'll start reading a certain chapter, and then something will click, dude. It's like it'll help. So like I
Mhm.
said, at the end of the day, the biggest thing for me was my mindset. Most of you guys is probably the mindset. The other half of you guys is probably the money. Um, Portion of you guys is probably the significant other telling you, don't do it. I'm gonna tell you though, sometimes you gotta take that. Sometimes you can't listen to them, even though you know that they might think what's best for you. Sometimes you just have to say, "I got to do this. I
Yeah.
got to try."
True.
How will I ever know if I can succeed if I don't do it? If I don't take the
True,
step
man.
and trying it.
Yep.
So you'll sit there and think 5 years later on down the road, you and your wife or you and your husband, and somebody else has 10, 15 houses under their name. And there was a chance 5 years ago it could have been you guys. And you said, no, no, no. It's a
Right.
regrettable situation. You don't want to be that type of person.
Yeah.
So
True.
maybe instead of thinking, no, you're not going to do it, maybe you should think of all the reasons why you should do it.
Yeah.
And going through it as well, let's just put it like this: you're learning things. If you don't know how to buy your own first home, you're gonna learn because you're gonna help other people, right? If you don't know what to do, if it, God forbid, you were to go into pre foreclosure, or you know what I'm saying, you're backed up on payments, or you got sick in the hospital and you can't make up that stuff, what options you could have, how the hell else are you gonna know?
True.
Excuse me my language, but how the hell else are you guys gonna know if you guys don't get involved in it and actually experience it and do it from this side yourself? Because you can be on that side and you might not get a trustworthy person. They might just tell you what you think you might want to hear. And then that's how some people end up losing out. That there's a lot of grimy people out there, and we're not those type of people. We like to help you guys learn, and we coach you guys and have you guys understand this is what's going on, so you can help other people from preventing them from letting like the banks and these big corporations take their houses and their livelihood from them. Like really straight up. That's what it is, because like we already know the banks don't care about nobody. You're just a docket number. You're just not a docket number. You're just a um
Number.
an account number. That's all
Yeah.
you are. You're
Phone
just a
number.
payment.
True.
Like they're not caring if you and your kids just had a issue with your house and your furnace broke or something, or your water heater busted. They're not gonna be like, okay, we'll give you 2 extra weeks. Like that's not their goal. That's not what they do. So that's where I know we step in, and I like being that person. I like that steps in and helps them people.
Yeah. 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 Those institutions are the devil, as I always say, right?
Yeah,
And 9 times out of 10, you're 100% right, man.
yeah,
And just for coming aboard and working with us to do those things is a beautiful thing, right? So,
yeah,
and learning those things, they're like having superpowers, as I always say, man. I learned that a long time ago when I learned some of this stuff. And then I started finding out that a lot of people didn't understand it or know it. And they're like, damn, that's like having a superpower. And
yeah.
that cycle, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't share it with people. I pretty much kept it undercover. And when people think, thinking, well, what do you do? How do you make your money? What are you, a drug dealer or something? You work for, who knows what you do undercover or some shit.
Right.
Well, I just say, yeah, I do real estate. I'm creative. I'm a real estate investor, and I got a marketing company. That's it. And today it's the same thing. I got a real estate investment company. It's AHA, Americans Out Americans, and we got a marketing company, Amplified Media, and that's it, right? Do we have a brokerage side of the thing? Yeah, sponsoring this VIP Execs Realty and Lending, Step in Excellence, right? But at the end of the day, those things all come together over time. Meaning, my resources, our resources, even your resources, right? And things that you're working on and stuff, right? Become every mentee's resource, right? Everybody, and that I think even when we started. So I thank you for sharing that, because that was one of my mind blocks too. Is like, can I do this? Can I really do it? And I had to figure out and do all my research to figure out, is this real? Once I found out it was real, I'm still working a corporate gig, and they're going, okay, do I have time to do this? So the thing is always the same thing, right? You have excuses or results, right? Can't have both. So I was like, man, I'm working all these hours. What do I need to do? Where do I need to make an adjustment? Where am I going to make a risk and take a risk? And who's that risk I'm taking? I'm taking a risk on myself. And then when you came aboard and others come aboard, they're going, well, I'm taking a risk on myself, and I'm taking a risk on who I'm working with, right? At the end of the day, and you took the leap of faith. I know you were being banged up here and there, and you tried this and tried that and doing all kinds of stuff. And the mindset was your thing. And the good thing that you can hustle and make cash because you're a hustler. And at the same token, you're into meditation and the mind. So all these things that I brought to the table were a compliment that, like you said, perfect language is amped up what you're already doing and took it to another level and going, shit, that's all sometimes people need a lot of times. And that's why we started, Amp Live Media, the American Mentee program, because of that. And hearing all these horror stories of, there's a lot of good programs out there. Cool. I get it. I'm not here to say anything bad or about any of them. But the bottom line is that some of them have, there's missing components that you need, that you can get. by working with a mentor. And I know that because that's what I went through. And when we decided to launch Americans Helping Americans and the Amplive program, it was like, well, how do we fulfill that, right? How do we make sure others are going to be reciprocal? Make sure that you're going to show up to the party. Because look, we're all human beings, right? We got lives and family and stuff. Even myself, right? I was like, man, what's the biggest obstacle? For me, it was, a long time ago when I wanted to get in real estate, but I was in the corporate business and I spent 12, 14 years, but still in the back of my head going, I want to do real estate. But I didn't tell anybody too much, right? Or they'd hear it and go, oh, yeah, whatever, man. Good luck with that. Just keep your job, brother, right? Pay the bills. You got a good gig and do your stuff. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. Until the point of frustration finally happened. And that's where I got Think and Grow Rich. And that was a funny story, man, when I was trying to, give up the career because I played music when I was younger, and then I had to chop off all the hair. Oh, even though I think I still had the hair, and I got a suit that I borrowed from my dad. I actually borrowed money from him, and going to raise a family, and then get into sales. And I was selling water filtration systems and stuff like that, or in multi-level marketing, until I found one of the top dogs that was rocking and rolling in there, and that was the thing. He said, "Look, you want to be on my team? Here's the book. Go and read it. It's right here." I said, no problem. I look at it. No problem. I can read that. Sure. And it says $5. Now you imagine it's still probably $5 or $6 now, right? But it was Think and Grow Rich. It's $5. I said, man, I don't have $5. I just put all my money in the gas tank, right? Now you want me to get on the horn, and you probably heard this story before, but those that have not, that's I'm sure maybe relates to you. And with your permission, I'm gonna share the rest of it. Is like he took that book. And I said, man, look, just give it to me. It's only going to help me so I can sell more for you, right? Trying to sell him on the idea that he should give me the book. But I already know the drill. It was like, it's not going to matter what type of selling I do. I could probably beg or do all kind of shit. The requirement is what? Pay me $5 for the book. And, because that's where I learned the skin in the game, right? I go, well, okay. He was kind of sharing with me and teaching me along the way that this is why we're doing certain things, right? If you have skin in the game, you're going to appreciate that book. You're going to appreciate being on the team, and you're paying your dues forward with that. He opened up the drawer, closed it, put a lock on it. He goes, look, that's your book. $5, and I'll give you like 2 or 3 days. Go sell some water filtration systems, and then you got to pay me $5. It's not that he needed the money. He just wanted me to commit, right? And that's the problem that everybody has right now, right? Give me free, give me this, do that. And hey, let me work with you and do a deal. That never happens, right? Unless you're as hungry. And I even put it, I think, on our first video when we started doing this stuff and running through a house. And I said, look, we even do some stuff and mentor you and things of that nature. But I knew there was never going to be someone like me that was going to be as aggressive. Maybe one person, right, that's willing to give it all up and do all kinds of stuff and go through the course, lose their kids. I was like super determined to say, I am doing this or die, right? I'm going to burn. So I don't expect a bunch of people to do that. I'm just kind of sharing my story and my mentality. But I took that book, and I took that book, and then I studied it, and ended up getting a corporate job, and cut off the hair and move forward, brother, since we're sharing here, and raising a family and kids growing up and getting older. And it's like, fuck. But I learned how to read the book correctly. Like when you're saying you highlight it, look at all the highlighted parts, right? And anybody who comes aboard, I say, look, it's required reading. Well, I've read that book before. I got an audio. Well, then you need to grab it, touch it, and make it yours, right? You gotta smell it, and you gotta feel it. You can pop on the audios all day long, right? You can do all that stuff. But you need to read, and you need to then start, read it all the way through. And then you need to start writing in it. And then you need to start highlighting it. And then just like you do now, I'll go back and flip it and go, boom, frequencies on. What do I need in the book? We'll tell you. Because then it does help you. It fuels your mind and it fuels your soul. For me, I'm not going to lie. I have my morning ritual. I get on my knees. I pray. I talk to God. I talk to God all day long. Like I say, and then I'll jump on my book and I go, yeah, that's what I needed today. Because you're throwing it out in the universe. The universe knows. And sooner or later, it's going to connect. It's always connected, right? Not to get philosophical, but you're right on point with that, man. So thank you for sharing that, because mindset can kill everything. Fear kills everything. Doubt kills everything. And I'm a human being, man. Shit, I get doubt too, right? We all do. We're all going to go through a little bit of something for whatever reason. And it happens. If that's you, or anybody out there who sees this, don't let that happen to you. I get it. Get with people, but get on the same mission, fuel your mind. Other things for me were like, hey, self-doubt. Can I get this done? I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm going to set it all up. Maybe you don't see results the first, second, third time, whatever. It took me 4 months to get my first deal, right? But that's tenacity. Not everybody has that. A lot of people are going to get their ass beat and they're going to give up. But when you have someone like us and we're working with you exclusively, that's not going to happen. Right? We're always going to show up to the party. I always showed up to the party. You know that, man. Even when others don't. It's like, okay, cool. Stuff happens. Life happens, right? And if I don't show up, it's very rare. It means I'm sick or I'm going to tell you ahead of time that, hey, I'm going on vacation. I'm doing this, and that. But you know what? If I got to roll down the hill, we're still going to chit-chat, right? Like we did. We got that deal in the Midwest. You had to do the same shit. You're at Disneyland rocking and rolling. I was at Big Bear doing somewhere. I was up in the mountain. I couldn't get to it. You're panicking your ass off. Oh, my God, what do I do, man? They're going to walk out and not sign, blah, 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 blah. I said, don't worry about it. Relax, man. Let me get down the hill. Executive fucking decision. Excuse my French. Made an executive decision because I was saying, God, make an executive decision. Take care of that shit, man. Do not let that go. We got to get it done. You did whatever you need to do. And then I get a text when I'm at the bottom of the hill going, oh, they signed. Oh, yeah. That's brother. You got it. You did it, right? See, the doubt shit, when you got to do what you got to do, you got to do what you got to do. When your back is up against the wall, you do your best work. And when you're put on, but at least you know that having people work with you and know that you got game and you can go in and make offers and there's money, this, that, DM, whatever needs to be done can be done. But you got to do your part with the skin in the game, right? You got to show up to the party. You got to make those decisions. And you did. You made the decision. We got it. We locked it up and boom, like you said, youngest guy in your family to own a piece of property and all that good stuff. Those are benchmarks, man, that'll stay with you for the rest of your life. Your kids are going to remember that stuff, right? But I get it, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly. Shit happens, right? With anybody in this world. So the bottom line is that you keep rocking and rolling because you can, get depressed sometimes and things can happen. But the best motivator is always yourself. But when you got a family that's motivating you, which you do, right? And they love you, man. And you get somebody, that's why I was asked, like when we were talking about a little bit earlier, husband, wife, right? You need the support of your family. But in the beginning, they're probably not going to have your support. They didn't have my support. They thought I was crazy, local in the Cabeza, right? What are you doing? You're leaving a good job and a career and benefits and all this shit. And then mock you. And say, hey, there's a piece, and you've heard this story too, right? Hey, there's a house down the street. And it'd be a house that I drive by all the time. And it was burnt.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, fuck, all right, you're being an asshole now. Okay, whatever. But let's call it revenge, or the best revenge is to accomplish it, go and do it, and to make it happen and go, look, how that goes. I knew you can always do it. I knew you always had it in you, Victor, right? Awesome, brother. And then sometimes you don't want to share it. Should you share it? And is it to gloat or not to gloat, right? You make those decisions, right? The thing is that self-doubt. Self-doubt and fear is bullshit. You got to confront it, beat the shit out of it, push it away, and move forward, right? And when we're the team of rock and rollers like us and others, man, you're not going to get left behind. That's our main thing. You're not going to get left behind. So that's how the American Mentee Program, man. It's true one-on-one mentoring. There's this QR code. If you see that stuff, anybody out there, scan that QR code. Reach out to Victor, Erlene, Ray, myself, anybody, and we'll get you hooked up. We'll get you rocking and rolling. Like Victor said, it's mindset, or sometimes it's the money. Don't worry about that, right? We got that covered. Whether you have, we got micro loan companies, you can put it on a credit card of some sort, easy peasy stuff, right? Minimal monthly payments. We'll even finance in-house, like Victor said, like, hey, you know what, things have changed, right? Do we want to chase pennies? No, it's not what I got into business for, right? But it's a byproduct of working with you and others saying, fuck, if that's the only thing holding you back and you're truly hungry, we're going to chat. You're going to go, okay, cool. We're going to talk to a few people and say, on our little board and go, yeah, let's bring them aboard. Right? They're going to have a leap of faith in us, and we're going to have a leap of faith in them. And hopefully they perform and do what they need to do, because I know we're going to do what we need to do, right? I know I will always show up to the party. Same with Victor and anybody else, right? Because that's what we're here to do. It's like a cause and mission. It's more than just the money. Yes, it's the networking. It's working with people. It's doing the right thing. Had a conversation yesterday. It's about putting into the bank of good. Not on purpose, just because that's what we do. When you have good values, right? Putting into the bank of good, and you're helping other people. I read something was very cool from someone from Texas, and he was putting some stuff together and awesome stuff about receivership. You ever hear about that? Receivership?
Mm-mm.
being prepared for receivership, being prepared to receive stuff, right? So when you're
Mhm.
stuck in a cloud or you're stuck or whatever, and you're just like, because there's so much shit and noise, sometimes you gotta slow down to move fast, right? Like a little bit of Ricky Bobby and Telegator or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Where you gotta
Mhm.
slow down, you fucking, what are the things that are important to you? Your family, the people around you, the things, the deals. Then everything comes a little bit clearer. And when you're ready, it's kind of like God says, okay, now you're ready to go. Receivership. For me, when I got started, it was always bam, bam, shit, man. Why don't I? What's the matter? Is it me? Is it the industry? Is it what I'm doing? Did I make the wrong move? My wife, my kids, the job, and sometimes, but when you like dial down, get hyper focused, all of a sudden God lifts the veil or lifts the door of opportunity, and you move forward. It's like God's testing you, the universe testing you, or whatever, man. Not to make it so philosophical, but it's true. That's what a lot of people get stuck on. That's okay too. You're never going to get stuck with it. All you got to do is show up to the party, rock and roll. Let's do deals together, right? And help you build your business. After all, that's what this is designed to do. It's not like a coaching program, videos and PDFs. You only need those when you're not getting it, right? And then we
Right.
won't move forward, like I mentioned before, right? As I always do. Won't move forward unless you understand the concept and the method, the AMP Live method. Then we move forward, and then we regurgitate whatever went right or went wrong. So it's a beautiful, lovely thing. Let me see. So obviously that's awesome that you're saying that. See what else we got on the table. JV, right? So I know there'll be some stuff that'll be rolling out here. If you got JVs, throw them down the wire. We'll underwrite them and see what we can do to either buy them, fix them, flip them, or take them down with you or anybody out there. Send them down send them down the wire so we can look at them, and we're willing to work with you on that. I know we're doing what land. Any type of land that we can look at and push in for sure. I know Missouri, Southern California, Texas, Tennessee, Montana, and anywhere else. Of course, across the United States of America is good. Multifamily, if you got it too, we're willing to look at that. Quads, duplexes, 10, 15, 20, 30 units, up to 75 units or more, then that's a different type of jam. But if you got it, we'll look at it
Oh
and
yeah.
people on our team that's interested in doing that stuff because we work with people that do the syndications, equity funds, and they're into that type of stuff or storage units. May not be our cup of tea, but hey, JV, see how we can help you or point you in that right direction. Sponsorship or whatever is going to happen. Remember, all our resources are your resources when you come aboard, which means the real estate side,
Yeah.
you get your license, you already have a license. The lending part, the traditional lending, hard money, private money, going to share that and teach you all that good stuff, right? You got to go. Is that you? Okay, you good? All right.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, man, thanks for coming aboard and sharing this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and I put that QR code up there. And that's a little bit different. It's for our 6 weeks of one-on-one mentoring. It's a hybrid of our one-on-one, but you can also scan and jump aboard the one-on-one mentoring program. I'm not sure if it's right here. Let me see. Yep. There you go. Americans have Americans, man. Mr. Victor.
Yes.
Appreciate it,
Well,
brother.
everybody, make sure you guys go hit that link, and if you guys want to reach out to us faster by sending us a message or something like that, you can contact me at victoriousrealsolutions@gmail.com. You
Awesome.
could also contact me, Victorious Real Solutions on Instagram. You can contact me at victorious.comics on Instagram as well. On Facebook, it's Victorious Angel Lopez. And my business line is 925-255-5493. That is my Victorious Real Solutions / AHA business line. So anything that has to do real estate related, you can call that number and get a hold of me. If it's that you want to come aboard, or you want to know more information about the programs, yeah, go ahead, call me, send me a text message, or reach out to me. You want me to plug you in with Eric? Let me know. I'll get you over to Eric and stuff in the team so you guys can talk with them and get you onboarded as well. Um, but hey, I just tell everybody this and stuff. I hope you guys got some juicy nuggets from today. I hope you guys picked up a lot of knowledge and information. And like I said, if you guys have any properties or deals anywhere, let us know. We'll check them out. We'll break them down. Um, and we'll let you know if it's a good fit for us. Now, if you need help with it, we can help with that too. Just know that if we get involved, We have to do it kind of the way we know because we know how to get it done. You just would be able to sit there and be a part of it, see how it goes. Uh, with us every step of the way and everything, but we'd be pretty much almost like coaching you through that process as well. So if there's something like that that you need help with, send it over. We'll evaluate it. We'll check it out. If you have any questions, reach out as well. We're always open. You know, I've had people reach out to me at 5, 6, 7, 8 in the morning. Some people hit me up at 3, 4 a.m. on Facebook and Instagram. So I'm always up and about. You guys can contact me. I'm like a vampire, so I'm always up.
That's true, man. Right? Lots of vampires in this business, but yeah, Victor's a
Yeah.
vampire. That's why it's V for vampire.
Right.
But yeah, Victorious, yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for sharing all your awesomeness and the stories and stuff. At the end of the day, yeah, hit up Victor, hit up any of us. At the end of the day, scan the QR code for the one-on-one mentoring program, as well as sending us deals, right? Deals. That's a public service announcement. JV, joint venture across the United States of America. Land, of course, anytime if you got deals that you want to sell, or if you know somebody's and you need some help with their property, definitely reach out to us so we can help them, okay? Very, 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 very versed in creative real estate investing. It's what we do. If you want to learn that, then definitely reach out and touch bases with us. That's what this is all about. I believe tomorrow will be Friday for Friday highlights, so I'll be back. Victor's rocking and rolling, doing his thing. Then we'll probably have him as a guest again. If not, then he's. I know he has to jump on another live and meetup. It was stuff that he does for his collectible business and comic book business and all that good stuff, as well as real estate. So, hey, it can be done. You just got to manage your time. You can rock and roll all that good stuff and do what you need to do. But we're here. We're here for you. Definitely reach out Friday for Friday highlights. I believe we're going to be out in the field doing a little bit of knocking, which would be cool because you never know what you're going to get, right? So maybe there'll be some good content, some laughable content, some crazy content, some fun content. Who knows? And eventually we'll be doing that with other mentees if they decide to do that. Because door knocking is, I'm not going to lie, right? It's not one of my favorite things to do. But if you want to do it and you want to learn it, no problem. Like driving for dollars, no problem. We like to surf for deals, right? Using this instead. Surf for deals, copy and paste, boom, 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 and you work it. You have to do it, right? That's the thing, right? You got to put in the time so you can become the expert. Once you become the expert, then you can hire out people, hire VAs, hire people in-house, pay them, not pay them, commission basis. Anything that needs to happen, we can kind of construct and put together for you a game plan based on what you're wanting to accomplish. That's what we do. That is the essence of AHA, Americans Out Americans, and AMP Live, the American Mentee Program. Victor, thank you for showing your face and sharing your awesome stories. They're great, brother. We're going to continue to keep on rocking and rolling with the mission and cause and mission. That's helping our fellow Americans across the United States of America. Once again, reach out to Victor or anybody that's on our team if you're interested and want to touch bases with us or you have deals. We appreciate it. See, did I miss anything? We good to go?
No, I think we're good to go, man.
Cool. All right, and then some Saturday training. I know Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the awesome, wonderful mothers out there on Sunday. But before that, hey, maybe it's your husband or maybe you yourself, and you're going, hey, I'm going to give myself a happy Mother's Day present, right? Scan the QR code down below. Let's rock and roll, do some deals, and let's not turn back. Hey, everybody. I'm trying to think of words where I can put it where it's like, look. When I got started, I wish there's a lot of stuff that I wish I had that people have now, which is awesome. But at the same token, it could kind of make it a little too easy. But then you get into something and it's the wrong program, or maybe it's just not right for you. Right. That's not going to happen here. I guarantee it, right? Because that's why we chit chat, we talk, and we've been doing this for such a long time, and it's based on muscle memory and things of that nature, and being able to just execute and make things happen, right? It's like a machine, or think of it like a franchise. I'm not going to say too much more, but the bottom line is it's if you've been beat up in the industry and you're still spinning your wheels and shiny objects and you're tired of the videos and the PDFs and the reading and all this, because you're like, man, look, I think I know enough. I just need help with these pieces here, because if I find these missing pieces, kind of like, I don't know, Indiana Jones or pieces of the puzzle, once you pop them in, your eyes open wide up, you go, shit, that's all it was, or that's what I needed to do. Sometimes you're just not going to know, right? And I always say, look, your first deal might be a wholesale deal, fix and flip deal, sub 2 deal, lease option, rent to own, sub 2 rental, right? just like Victor and others across the United States of America, then let's get together, let's work together, and let's help you accomplish your legacy and your goals. Because we know when you do that, or we help you get to that point, then hey, it's helping us as well, and our families and Victor's families and everybody's associated with us, right? So I definitely understand the community thing. But like I said, it's more of a core, but we are opening it up. And as long as like, hey, there's filters, right? For me, I'm cool. I'll open it all up, but there's got to be a filter. Like, hey, Victor, you be the filter of that shit, right? You take
Right.
all these JV deals, and if they're juicy, we'll rock them and move them. Is it maybe something else? Maybe it's the community part, right? And, you know, because we only got so many hours in a day, right? So, you know, you got to pick and choose what's best for us and the company and what we're doing here live, right? And there's a lot of ideas, a lot of things that happen, moving parts that people want to implement. Sometimes you have to, like I said, right, scale back a little bit, hyper focus to be able to receive the receivership of what's coming to you, right? At the end of the day. And sometimes we need these good words, right? Just like you need the book, right? And people.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes you just need something, you know, I was like before when I was younger, it's like, man, I don't need anybody to tell me what I need to hear, or I don't need anybody to say, you know, I need validation in something. My validation is work, practice, accomplish, and then see whether that was working. That was, you know, the part where saying, yes, I'm on the right track, right? And but we all need it, right? So sometimes we got to drop the ego too, even myself and all of us, right? It's about people. It's about love, man. Not to do the 60s and shit, right? but you know, frequency is correct. Victor's right about that, and it's right about, you know, opening up yourself to others. The same token, you know, we still got to have some guidance when we're doing these things, man. So without further ado, I'm gonna wrap this up, brother. Rock and roll and all what you do. Appreciate you. I know you got to do your thing, so good luck and have a good run tonight, man. And maybe tomorrow I'll see you. I know tomorrow, hey,
Yeah.
prayers for you, brother. You do your thing tomorrow, and then let me know how that goes. I'll hear from you. And then Saturday we'll chit chat if you're, you know, up to it. And I'll keep you in the loop of what's going on. Appreciate you. There's more stuff coming down the wire, so definitely take a look at it. Let's get it going, and let's rock and roll, and let's bring out some more people and do our thing, man. Recruiting. Deals is what we're all about. And yeah, I'm excited about you sharing that with me and saying, hey, Texas, let's do it. I'm game. That's like, where do you want to go, brother? Where do you want to go? And let's pop an office up out there. I would love it. You know,
Yeah.
so, and I know my son's been wanting to go to Texas for a long time. He's like, Sam, man, where we going? Where we going? Even if we're going to go on vacation, I go, well, where the hell are we going to go on vacation in Texas, right? Well, there's a lot of spots, right? So, you know, it's just a matter of getting there and doing it, man. So
You gotta go to the restaurant Ojos Locos.
Ojos Locos, huh? Oh, no. That's eyeballs? You talking about eyeballs? Crazy eyes?
Yeah, but that's the name of the spot. It's called Ojos
Really?
Locos. Ask your son about it. Say, hey, you ever heard of Ojos Locos in Texas?
What do they serve? Eyeballs?
No, they serve food.
Oh, no shit? Okay.
Yeah, they serve
I know-
food. It's just a different style. All right, look, it's like a different version of Hooters. It's like Hooters.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, they have a bunch of barbecue and stuff like that. It's just like barbecue and stuff too.
Love barbecue, man. Yeah. Yeah, I know there was a place, I don't know if it's true, but there was a movie a long time ago with John Candy, and they had these big-ass fucking steaks, like 3 or 4 pounds. You ever see that? And I've been seeing some stuff in my feed. There's a place in Texas. There's a big-ass steak, and if they eat that steak, it's free, and they get a shirt and all kinds of shit and a hat. I don't know where the hell that's at, but I've seen that shit. I go, man, I'm not sure. I wonder if I can do that, man, because I love steak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cool. Ojos, whatever. What is it called?
Ojos Locos. I'll send it to you in the chat.
Right? You been there?
No, I'm going when I go to Dallas this month.
Okay. That's right. Yeah, you got some cool stuff going down. That's cool. Yeah, we're gonna come out with some stuff down there in Dallas and Dallas Fort Worth. So thank you for reminding me. That's on my schedule. Let's get it. Let's rock it. All right. So anything want to close out?
No, I'm good. Everybody, like I said, reach out to us. Let us know if you guys need help with anything, and I look forward to hearing from you guys.
Sounds good.
Don't be shy. Don't be scared. Reach out. We can help you guys break through that barrier.
Amen. Rock and roll, and God we trust. Made in America. Rock and roll and all what you do. We'll talk to you later. We'll see you a little bit later, man. Like I said, have a good run, and we'll go from there. Thanks.